This is a wireless mechanical keyboard I bought 4 years ago. It has bronze switches with 78 keys and a numpad, which is a rare occurrence. Granted, it can be annoying to not have dedicated F keys at times, but I love this keyboard since then. I use it in the living room, so it's nice for it to be both compact and still practical. I use it for both writing my screenplays, my YouTube scripts, and sometimes for playing games. Within the last 6 months or so, its battery died, and I have been using it wired, as it has USB-C port as well. But I needed the wireless function back, as wired can be annoying in a living room environment. So for that, I needed to first disassemble the keyboard to see what kind of battery it has, and I found out it has a 3.7 volts battery, which is something pretty standard, but the actual size wasn't. It has a DSW333895P writing on it, which means it's 3.3 millimeters thick, 3.8 centimeters wide, 9.5 centimeters long. It's a 1600 milliamps battery. I couldn't find that size anywhere, so after some consideration, I opted for a 3.7 volts 306090 battery that is 3000 milliamps. This battery is slightly thinner and is 6 by 9 centimeters, which is slightly wider, which practically doubles the original battery capacity. However, for it to work, I would have to cut the battery containing frame inside the keyboard, which I understood before purchase. This was basically the only way, unless I got a much smaller battery to fit that frame, but then the battery life would be much lower, smaller capacity could cause other issues. After checking the distance between the PCB and the battery, I thought a battery that covers a larger area in this keyboard should not be an issue. So I removed the one side of the battery frame using flush cutter and reused the thin double-sided tape of the original battery as well as the plastic piece and the foam piece that is on top of the battery to protect it from sharp tips of the PCB's solder points. The original battery had swollen and it measured 5.5 millimeters instead of 3.3, so it was the right move to switch from 2.4 GHz mode to wired when I started to use it wired a while ago, because a swollen battery can be a fire hazard. Yet the old battery still wasn't pierced or anything, so this new thinner battery, despite its larger width, should possibly be safer. I didn't really cover the entire size of the battery with a hard plastic piece and a foam on top, but I placed the original one well centered, and the actual distance between the PCB and the keyboard's plastic bag should be around a centimeter, so this should be fairly safe. But to be safer, you might want to fully cover it with something similar if you happen to run into the same situation. I also had to solder what appears to be a JST connection to the new battery. You could potentially directly solder to the battery, but it's a little more advanced work, so I didn't really see the need to go that way and made sure it's secure enough. Now, with the new battery connected, I reassembled the keyboard and I've been using it for a couple of days. It's been working fine since then, so it's a nice and easy way of reviving your favorite keyboard.